Hey, what's going on there, Jagoff? And welcome to Fast Custom Shirt Chicagoland podcast, sponsored by DWN Productions, here on the Polar Sausage Eating Podcast Network. We're here to welcome you all today for a very special episode, extra windy down by the lake. Joel will be with us in a second, and he'll talk about he'll he'll talk about being a fucking liar. I was informed that he was sick.
I
It
was sick.
turns out he was not sick.
I was sick of this fucking podcast. Is what I was sick of.
Mm.
First of all, Tom, let me tell you about my week. Uh, we heard about your week. We heard about your, sickness, and you're, barely making it to the shitter. Sometimes making it to the shitter, sometimes not, I should say. And we've heard about your depression and all that, and we're all on your side, Tom. We want
Hey,
you.
thanks for listening.
Yeah, we're there for you, Jelly Roll. Um, Yeah, you know how on like some SUVs and trucks they have the spare tire on the bottom, underneath the carriage of the car.
Yes.
Well, my vehicle's like that. I always thought that was stupid because you get a flat, it's hard to fucking get to that thing, you know. But anyway, what do I know? All I
Not
know
much.
is I hit a bump the other day and then heard like something pop, and then I look in my rear view and I see my tire bouncing. Fuck, a car swerves to fucking miss it. It's like, well, shit. I guess I ain't got a spare now.
Rust?
Probably,
Yeah.
probably rust. So, folks, check for rust. Uh, get some rustolatum. I don't know what the hell you do in that case.
Wait, what was that word you said?
Rustolium,
There
rustolatum.
you go.
All right, but rustolium's just spray paint, so I don't know how that would help you anyway. But yeah, there was that. There was that, Tom, and then celebrated the loss of the tire by doing some drinking on Friday. Uh, oh no, Roop, he passed some test he'd been studying for at wherever Home Depot where he works for a long time. So he, I don't know, got some new title added to his name. So he wanted to do some drinking. So he came over and we did some drinking.
Congrats, buddy.
Yeah. Saturday, what did I do Saturday? I don't know what I did Saturday, but Sunday, Lisa wanted to go to the Holistic Fest. You know what a holistic festival is, Tom?
Yeah, what I assumed yesterday, it was a bunch of sick people who aren't on medication or anything gathering together to buy like rocks and opals and shit to rub on their foreheads or stick in their penis holes in hopes that they get better.
There was some rocks and crystals and stuff, so but that's not the crux of it. This is a bunch of attractive white women that look like they have money and look like they're looking for answers, Tom. They're looking to fill a void that they have in their souls.
Mm.
And if you go to this holistic festival, a bunch of people will jump out, hey, try our, soul cleansing, whatever. Of course, they're being very
Peter Popoff's there selling his fucking garbage water.
hello, sir. This method that we've used for millennia has, they're very much in the hard sell at the holistic festival. We kind of just kick back at our table. Somebody comes to tell, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Nah, these fuckers are going to jump right in front of you and start selling you shit. And it's one of these things, too. It's like, hey, they're going to fill spots however they can. There was 3 fucking gutter people there.
Gutter?
Hey,
Oh, I thought you meant like garbage people, but you're
well, no,
talking
there's
about
plenty of
the
that.
shit on the house.
Plenty of that. But, yeah, the shit on the house for when it rains, catches the water, throws it off to the sides or whatever. 3 different ones selling you like fancy gutter systems or whatever. One guy that kind of cornered me, he was selling insurance for when you die on the road. It's insurance to get your body back. Because it costs money to bring your body back. and he was telling me about all these laws. That was interesting as shit, but I wasn't gonna buy no fucking insurance. Um, he was saying like if you die in Oklahoma, the law is they have to take you to one of their funeral homes first, and that you got to go pick up the body from there if you decide not to use their services.
What you should have said, "Hey, you fuck, I'll just have them cremate me there and then mail it back. That'll save a lot of fucking money."
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause that's what they do. That's how my fucking, dad was sent back. They cremated him, then sent him back in the mail.
yeah. With me, whatever's the cheapest option. Fuck it, bury me in the back with the dogs. My soul will be, in very harmonic balance, Tom. Uh, yeah. So there was a lot of that shit. There was a lot of people selling soaps and jewelry, and one guy selling a bunch of, I guess, Indian, Hindi masks and everything. And they had performances, like they had a belly dance troupe, but not one of these women looked Persian to me, Tom.
And you know what Persians look like
I,
after watching all the films in the Wishmaster
right,
franchise.
exactly. I know what they sound like, what they look like, what they wish for. Um, and the band, which was really good, playing that Persian belly dance type music. You know what I'm talking about. They were fucking good, but again, it was like four white dudes, and I'm thinking, man, what puts it into these guys that what, I need to put together a fucking Persian band that plays belly dance music. I don't know, but they did, and they sounded pretty good. Um, I don't know. I didn't look around to see if any actual Persians were there, looking like all insulted or whatever, that they're making a mockery of their heritage or whatever. I don't know. I think belly dance originated with like slavery or something, but I don't know. I don't know. Weird shit. Weird shit. And then came home and ate a edible thing, which I hadn't done in a while.
Which I'm gonna assume is a Delta 9 legal gummy.
No, this was not from there. Um, but this was like awesome. This was like some of the best shit I'd had in a while, to where I couldn't really fucking do anything. I was just sitting there thinking, thinking good thoughts, and it was really cool. And it was all good, and then like a storm blew in, and it's like, oh shit, I left that umbrella thing up. I got to go take it down so the wind doesn't blow it the fuck away or whatever. And I did that. I struggled with that for a little while, because I wasn't really operating at my best. And then Lisa sticks her head out and says, "Hey, can you pull my car into the garage? It's supposed to hail." Sure. So I did that, and it took me like 30 minutes because I kept pushing it in. And it's like, no, this isn't right, and going out and straightening back up, and then just sitting there for a while thinking about shit. And yeah, it took me like 30 minutes, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm really fucked up. I need to just like kick back and enjoy this. Can't let anything, fuck up this good high that I've got. I certainly can't do the podcast because I can't talk, and that would definitely fuck up my high." So, yeah. I was sick of this fucking podcast. Um,
Yeah, I
and,
was,
and
with
I
you
laid down.
once
I laid down the whole rest of the night and just like not really sleeping, but just thinking. Yeah, you were with me once. Uh,
when, you were on edibles, and I was getting half mad because I thought you were fucking with me
mm-hmm.
because you just had one gummy. But I guess you just turned into a fucking retarded person,
I mean,
and that was the problem.
yeah, I don't even know what that was that we had out there, but I mean, I don't do a whole lot of drugs since I was in fucking early college. I don't, all I do is drink, which I shouldn't even do that. But yeah, I'm what? Oh, I'm got embarrassed that I got fucked up. So no, fuck. I wish alcohol would do that to me. I wish I could get drunk after 2 beers, man. That would be fucking awesome. Certainly wouldn't be putting on this fucking gut. That's for sure.
Well, If it makes you feel any better, I've been sober for a little over a week now and lost 7 pounds.
See what a difference it makes? It's something, man.
But I was also violently pissing out of my anals all
Well,
week,
there's
so
that too. You are doing like a purge and an abstinence thing. So, yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't say abstinence. I did a round of fucking, but definitely no drugs or alcohol. Which I don't know. Granted, I've been sick, but I haven't been like, "Oh, baby, I need a motherfucking drink. I need to get some weeds in me." I guess everybody's different, but this shit, oh, the bottle will get you. How much I fucking drink. You'd think I'd be like, oh, I need to get some boo. No, maybe some people out there are just fucking pussies and they want you to feel bad for them.
I
I
think
think
most
that
of
has
them,
a lot
though,
to do with it.
most of them drink like hard liquor, which I mean you do from time to time, but not as often as you do with beer. I think hard
Shit, I
liquor.
haven't had liquor in I don't know how long. Honestly, fucking months and months and months, maybe over a year. No, I take that back. Let me step back. I'm a fat man, so it'll take a minute. At Frightmare, I did a shot of tequila with Brian and Cheech.
Mm. Yeah,
So
but that's
yeah,
like one shot spread over. If somebody's like drinking liquor every day, and it's like the way that we drink beer, that's definitely going to have a harder toll on your body. But you're not going to put on as much weight because the beer fucking has all these fucking calories and shit. Liquor, not so much.
the liquor has a shit ton of sugar in it,
Sugar.
depending on what the fuck you're drinking.
Yeah, there's that.
Especially rum, which is just fermented sugar cane.
Yeah. No, not passing judgment on anybody. We've all got our vices and we all do our things. But whatever. Tom thinks you're a bunch of pussies.
Bitch ass motherfucker. God damn pussy ass. Do what you want. Just don't hurt anybody.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. All right, bye. Hope you got something out of this
BOYGOB.
episode, you fuck.
So did you talk about all the movies you watched, or just a select
No.
few from the Wild Eye?
Yeah, I just did the Wild Eye shit. I figure we'll get that out of the way since I said I was going to give the fucking movie away that day. I didn't want people being like, oh, these fucking bitch. God damn, never trusting them again.
Yeah, the three
So I
people.
got on here and hey, at one point we had 7 going strong, and then I started talking about shitting up the wall and lost them quick.
Yep. Oh, Tom.
Yeah, it was fun reading those fucking stories people wrote in. I had a good laugh with that.
We had good entries, but I agree with you. The person that won Corey should have won. I thought his was the best, and it was very a confessional type thing.
Yeah, that seemed like, hey man, if you're a gay man, that's fine. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Make our jokes, whatever, but it doesn't matter. But that sounded like some experience went into that tale. Speaking of experiences going into the tale, Brian hit me up and said his story was true except for the Chupacabras stuff.
Oh man, really?
So I guess he was reading some fucking Satanist book about turning into a werewolf and got drunk and pissed in a drain or whacked off in a drainage ditch or whatever the fuck he was
I
going
don't remember that, and I've read all of that idiot Anton LaVey stuff, but I don't remember that. I know there's a thing. He has like a whole chant to summon Cthulhu, even though
Baramu.
Cthulhu.
Baramu. It's from Babe, you see.
Yeah, I know. Is this thing charging? What the fuck?
Excuse me.
There we go. All right. So, Tom, I watched yet another season of Rick and Morty, season 6, which Ah,
It's about what I think of that show. The phone didn't even want
I
to
know
hear it.
you're not a Rob Kraub guy, but it wasn't as funny as the past seasons. They maybe, I don't know, want to hang it up or something, but it was still funny. Just it had nowhere near the cleverness that the past seasons had had, and I noticed that they're just cussing a whole lot more. I know some people that's funny enough. I guess, oh, hey, these cartoons are cussing. That's hilarious, but nah, there's got to be some cleverness behind it. Like I said, still worth a watch. There was some good shit in there, and I'll watch another episode if they
But just one.
if they come out with it. I mean, what the fuck else am I gonna do? You know, better myself? Nah.
I was just waiting for it to fall. It's just like slowly.
Tom, what'd you watch?
Oh, Joe, it's gonna be a while. So wait, never mind. What the fuck did I watch? Joe, I watched a South African movie. You know anything about South Africa?
I thought we were gonna wait to get to Nemesis too.
We will. We'll talk about that. But hey Joe, you know anything about South Africa?
South Africa, yeah, parts of it are still like jungle land, parts of it are just big slums, uh, and then parts of it are for the rich white people, you know, hotels and stuff.
Yeah, I thought most of South Africa was like all white people and shit.
Hmm.
But I guess not, Joe. I guess not. I watched a movie called Ghetto Goblin. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of this one.
It's about a whore in the ghetto that goes around gobbling up dick.
Okay.
It's about I forget what the fuck the monster is in their fucking folklore. The Tamamamalu or some fucking shit like that. It's some kind of fucking goblin that fucking fingers women or some shit. I don't know, Joe. The character in this movie who was given like all the information and exposition and shit was speaking in fucking what the fuck was that language? Zulu, and legitimately at times he was speaking in clicks. Like other people were speaking in English and shit, but this guy was just going with his fucking Zaboomafoo language and clicks and shit, no subtitles. I even stopped it to, is there an option to put some subtitles on this motherfucker? Or some shit. Nope. Still watch the whole fucking thing, Joe. I thought it was gonna be one of those fucking Nollywood movies that we talked about like fucking 6, 7 years ago. It
Yeah.
was not that. This for what it was well like it's fucking weird that there's still like third world country Bushmen shit out there. Like I understand there is, but it's just fucking weird with all the technological advances and everything in the world. But yeah, so these group of Zulu warriors got together to make a movie about this goblin. I'm not sure how the goblin comes to be because once again, clicks and whistles and shit. But I guess this fucking businessman makes a fucking deal with the town witch doctor or something in his little hut. Like the people around the town, they have their fucking like normal houses. They're all right, you know, for a third world country and shit, whatever. Like they're nice houses. They got tile on the floor and shit. The water doesn't look that brown when it's run from the sink. But he goes to this witch doctor's fucking hut where it's like it has a midget door on it, where it's like a 3-foot door where they gotta do that shit or whatever to get in. So they're doing all the shit, and that's all the hey, you're gonna have to take care of this goblin or whatever. So that shit happens. He has this hollowed out gourd that fills with blood that he keeps in his cabinet. He fucking says shit to it. One time he drinks the blood, and then this goblin goes and fucking fingers women to death. And then he wakes up in the morning and his cabinet's filled with Nigerian money, or not Nigerian, but Zulu money. So the dude's like, "Oh, I do not want this anymore." No, I don't know why it sounds like he works at Dunkin' Donuts in the
So he's the one
1990s.
summoning the goblin?
Yeah, it's like a pact or something. Like they're interlinked. Dude, like I said, all the exposition and shit you needed to know was spoken by this witch doctor character throughout the whole fucking movie, and he wasn't speaking English. Everybody else was, but him.
Yeah, well, that's I'm trying to say. Does he summon the goblin, or is he turning into the goblin?
I
Is
He
he like
summons
waking
it, I
up,
guess.
like, oh, what did the Hulk get me into this time?
Well, I mean, he wakes up like, "Oh, Mios Dios," but they're two separate entities.
Okay.
Like they're linked, but he's not fucking, I'm gonna finger this girl. He's fucking sleeping or whatever, and this shit's just happening. It's worth watching to see like what
Sounds
the
like it.
fuck they're doing down there, if you're like interested in different cultures, movies and shit. Maybe the only foreign movies you watch are from Japan or whatever and have Godzilla in it. And
I
you
only
want to
watch SOB
see,
foreign movies.
yeah, fuck yeah, you French piece of shit. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. I was expecting like hot fucking garbage to giggle at, but it was compelling enough that I only knew half of what was happening, and I still watched the whole motherfucker. It's on Tubi. Like I said, it was called like Tamamalu or whatever the fuck this thing's called in South Africa. But for some reason, the racist fucks at Sony thought, "Oh, we'll just black people in it. We'll rename this Ghetto Goblin." Got me to watch it. I don't
Yep.
know what the fuck that says, but again, I didn't name it that shit. So it's on Tubi if you're interested. It's not like funny bad. It's commendable for sure. But have a witch doctor by you so he can tell you what the fuck's going on. Because I'm not fucking sure. At the end, doesn't matter. I mean, at the end, who cares what happens, really?
Yeah.
Watch it. Don't. I don't give a fuck.
Tom, I watched Tin Can. This is a
Classic.
science fiction film that there is a plague that is infecting humanity. It's not turning them into zombies. Hey, that's
What the
the
fuck did you say
part.
you watched?
Tin Can.
Okay, so I guess there's two movies called Tin Can, and I'm thinking of the other one. Okay.
Maybe. I don't
No,
know.
maybe that was Tin Cup.
Tin Cup. Yeah, that's a different movie about
Okay.
golf.
Yes.
And there's a movie called Pushing Tin about airplanes or something. And then there's Rin Tin Tin, who is a dog. But this is Tin Can that I'm talking about. I'll say, so this lady, doctor, so it's science fiction, like I said,
What?
is she's got the cure. She's about to unleash it, goes outside for a smoke, and then like a brick knocks her out and breaks her I don't know, air purification suit. And she wakes up and she's like in a life support system and she's like in a little vial, in a tin can, Tom. Pretty much she's in a can. And, she's trying to figure out, well, what the fuck am I doing in here? How am I going to get out of here? And she's able to hear other people. There's other people in tin cans too, Tom. And the immediate thought, even when you read the synopsis, okay, this is just fucking Cube. Like, how are they gonna get? But it's not like Cube. It's because they're not going from tin can to tin can. You know, it's just they're stuck in there, and part of it is just the exposition between her and the other characters. She also has flashbacks to some shit that was going on before the plague and all this, and dude she met that she worked with, and And then eventually she gets out of the tin can, Tom. Turns out they're on a big spaceship, and a lot of the humans have had to alter their bodies cybernetically, Tom. A lot of this shit going on these days in movies. Cybernetically, so they can survive the plague. And it's trying to figure out, well, hey, should we be cyborgs? Are we going to retain our humanity? You know, a lot of questions. This movie gets pretty heady. You know, there's shit in there about revenge. All kind. It's fucking good, but it's hard science fiction. If you're into fucking Star Wars, you're not gonna like this because you got to think. All right. If you just want like, you know, fucking swords, this isn't the movie for you. If you want these little fucking baby Yodas, this isn't the shit for you.
Well, I want diabetic Muppets playing the clarinet. Is that in this movie?
Stick with that idiotic bullshit on your side of the fence, and I'm gonna gatekeep the smart science fiction. In fact, none of y'all listening to this show watch this.
So you're saying it's not entertaining and pretty fucking rubbish.
I liked it. Tin can.
So did they get shrunk down, or were these really big cans?
No, there's no raccoons fucking running around with them or little baby plants saying the same fucking line over and over, and you just fucking, well, they said it enough times. I guess I'll say it's cute. It's not fucking cute. You're a fucking idiot.
So were they shrunk down, or are these just really big tin cans? Don't worry, I'll wait for the answer.
They're big tin cans, you know, even bigger than like a water heater.
Do they have Bush's labels on them?
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Because you know they do sell those gallon-sized cans. You know that, right, Joe?
What's that?
They sell those giant-sized can of beans.
Yeah, they do.
Like a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They do. It's easier just to buy a bag and make them your own. It takes a while, you know, and you gotta let the beans soak overnight. But that's the way to do it. You know, some real borracho beans.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you watch, Tom?
I don't know. I'll look at the list. I was going to say I watched Tin Can, but I wrote that down for the summary later because that's what you watched, you see. I watched...
We get it that you're still a bit disoriented from all the shitting you've done over the past few days.
Today was the first day I shit solid.
All right.
I was pretty happy about that. It was still a few times today, but at least my asshole opened up. So that was nice. And I drove to Walmart today. So it was like the first time I drove in a week. It was kind of foreign for the first minute or so. I was like, do I remember this car driving like this? Is something fucking wrong with it?
What's that noise?
Yeah, no. I made it. It's all right. Then I went into Walmart and coughed on everybody. Fucking pricks. Joe, I watched 2 Wings Hauser movies. And lucky for us, one of these Wings Hauser movies called Blood Money, aka something else that I can't remember, starred your favorite and co-starred your favorite and mine, Robert Zadar. And any time we bring up Robert Zadar, I get to hear one of my favorite stories, Joe. So for anybody who may not have heard it the 3 or 4 times that it's been said before, why don't you regale them with one of the greatest convention stories I've ever heard?
He comes to my table, you know. I don't know if he's fucked up or if he's just, you know, because the guy's odd looking. You don't know if he just talks weird or whatever. You know, I haven't met him. Who am I to judge? But as he's talking, you know, really animated guy as he's talking, his pants just fucking fall down. Just fucking fall down. And, you know, some guy that was, I guess, his handler, whatever, rushes and starts pulling them up for him or whatever. I guess this wasn't the first time this happened during the course of the day. I don't know.
What was his underwear like, Joe?
I tried not to look. I tried to avert my eyes.
You didn't want to see if his fucking bulge had a giant chin too?
I was kind of trying to pretend nothing had fucking happened, you know. And it's
Oh,
like,
hey, come
there's,
on. They're selling t-shirts. You can at least look at my dick.
I think there's kids around here. Can you take him back to his table? You know.
No, there's a pile of shit on his chair. We were waiting for somebody to come by and clean it. That's why we're here. Oh, I understand. Anyways, let me try and remember Blood Money. I watched this one when I was pretty fucking sick at the beginning of last week, so gonna be a little hazy. I remember it being worth a watch, if that fucking means anything. You got Wings Hauser, Robert Zadar, and someone else might have. Yes, Karen Black was also in it. So Robert Zadar is a shoot first and ask questions later LA cop. In the fucking movie, they say he's solely responsible for 10% of the homicides in LA. She, hey, you know why I pulled you over? No, I don't. He's like that motherfucker just ready to shoot a cocksucker in the fucking face for nothing. um, he was in Vietnam or the big one, some war with Robert Zadar, and they have fucking flashbacks to that, which a little bit better than the flashbacks in House. They get out of the war. Robert Zadar becomes a crime boss. Some would call him a kingpin because big fat fuck wearing suits. And Wings Hauser goes and he becomes a drunk cop who gets to fuck big titty broads. Wings Hauser had a good run, man, just playing a drunk fuck, being able to shove his face in between all these fat tits. He had a good run. But he gets fired for shooting shooting like 3 or 4 motherfuckers at a pawn shop. And then Karen Black says, I'm an FBI agent, honey, and we're putting him back on the case because we need him. And he does. And it's good. Now, the more I'm talking about remembering it, it's good shit and definitely worth a watch. I know I've been fucking every week. It seems like I'm watching fucking 8 Wings Hauser movies,
Yeah, it's
but
like you found your new fandom, you know, over the past 2 years.
I got something to live for. Yeah, fucking when we first watched Vice Squad, before I even seen it, you were talking about it and you're just like, yeah, I'll watch anything with Wings Hauser. And I was like, who the fuck is Wings Hauser?
Now
I
you
never
know.
heard of this motherfucker. And now I've seen more movies of his than you have.
Yeah.
But back to my point, I went to the IMDb and including TV credits, I think there was only like 22, 25, somewhere around there titles out of like 142. So I've barely chipped away at this fucking iceberg. So there'll be more.
All
Don't
right.
worry about that shit.
All right.
With Blood Money or whatever the fuck it's called, it's worth a watch. But then, Joe, after that, I watched a movie called Wilding. I think it's called The Streets of Violence or The Boys of Violence or fucking some erotic shit like that.
With a
And
Z?
no,
No.
no, they're not rappers.
Okay.
So in this one, Wings Hauser plays a cop and his partner is John Travolta, brother Joey Travolta.
Joey, the singer.
Yes, he doesn't sing in this one, but it's probably good.
Yeah.
Uh in this one, the youth runs amok, Joe. It's one of these movies where like high school kids are like the most evil fucking bastards ever, and they just go around fucking raping and murdering and shit. And it's up to old Wings Hauser to fill him up with the long arm of the law. This one wasn't as good as what the fuck was it called? Blood Money, whatever the
Wild
fuck I
Heat.
said this shit was. But it's worth a watch just for the fact that Wings Hauser turns a high school kid around, points a gun at him. He's like, "Listen here, you fuck." Laughed my ass off. Not the best, not the worst. I'd say watch it. Uh yeah, it was fun. Just a stupid fucking name, Wilding. Like I get it. Oh man, they were wilding, dog. But probably could have called it something better. Like Wings Hauser shoves a gun in a teenager's fucking face and he pisses a little bit. The movie. But other than that, that's what the fuck I watched, Joe.
All right, I also watched Panther Squad, starring Sybil Danning. Yeah, and this one, Panther Squad, there is a environmentalist group that's sabotaging the space program. Space program has some new shuttle that's going to go up, but there's environmentalists did something to throw them off the trajectory. You know what they don't want to happen is for space to get as polluted as Earth has become. Too late to save Earth.
They don't want fucking pop can rings wrapped around alien necks and shit.
Right. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So they've got a backup astronaut to the lady, but this environmental group, you know, they trick them, they kidnap this lady. So they call in fucking Sybil Danning. Sybil Danning's apparently the toughest, badassest soldier of fortune or whatever around.
She's the Felicia Rose of her time.
Yeah. So she does some pretty shitty martial arts against some people. She calls in some other chicks that are supposed to be babes, I guess, and they're really not. They're okay, you know. They're not ugly. They got some guns and they take on a small army, and I don't know. They're like cornered, but then Sybil Danning pulls out some gun from some case, and it's like some kind of laser gun, and it makes 5 people disappear all of a sudden. This movie sucks. This movie's just fucking lame. It has zero nudity in it, which is, you know, when you watch a movie called Panther Squad and you got some bimbo on the cover, you think, hey, this is at least going to have some tits or something. Nope, none of that in this thing. So this is a definite skip it. Panther Squad sucks.
And especially for a Sybil Danning movie, they must have not had any fucking money at all if she didn't whip out the guns.
Right. I mean, what are you there for? You know?
See that dude's pecs.
Yeah, this isn't a Ray Harryhausen flick, you know? There's no class involved here.
I mean, even in that, in Clash of the Titans, you seen fucking Medusa's clay tits.
Yeah, I think you got some side tit, too, on Jason or Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger or whatever. But not in this one.
This didn't have the $25 to cover her nudity fee, I guess.
Movie was trying to have class, and that's okay, but you just ended up with a boring ass flick.
Which is crazy because Grandma's naked and everything.
After that, Tom, I got a couple of screeners in the old email. And I said, "Oh shit, you know, Tom must want me to watch these." He, you know, sent these to my email, and he knows I look at my email as opposed to what if you would have sent me a text. You know, so yeah, couldn't get the first one to play, so I emailed, and I thought I was emailing you, but I was emailing the guy, and he's, "Oh, here you go, buddy. All right." So I watched Born to Raise Hell, Tom.
Oh shit! I made some appliances for this movie.
Did you?
I was supposed to go on set
like a dishwasher or an oven or something like that?
Yes, I made a dishwasher and a fucking electronic can opener.
Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to go up there and apply the shit and all that, but for the price I would have to charge them, and especially the price of me not really wanting to go and apply makeup, and plus it was COVID time, it would just cost way too much, even with fucking friend prices, because this is a friend. It's old Rabbit, not Wild Eye, but Crude Comics and Cinema, even though this movie will be released by Wild Eye, and I want to say set around Halloween. But yeah, even with the discount I would have given him for being a friend, it just wouldn't be worth it for anybody for me just to go up there and apply the shit. So I made some silicone slit neck appliances, if I remember. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, I think there was 2 slit necks in it that was maybe the extent of their special effects. It is based on the Richard Stark murders. So this is a serial
Is that
killer.
Tony's brother? Or...
Yes, Tony Stark, brother Richard, who had a tattoo on his arm that said "Born to Raise Hell." Tom, and one night he I don't know, got into a house that a bunch of nursing students were living in, and killed, like, I don't know, 9 girls and raped maybe one of them. But in this movie, he rapes all of them, Tom. Not that they're showing you any real rape or nudity. There is a little bit of nudity, but the guy mainly dry humps them in this, because they didn't pay his nudity fee either, I guess. So he keeps his pants on, just grinds against them or whatever. A lot of yelling from a lot of women. It is shot on video. It is very, very economical. That's cheap. It's a cheap movie, and it's just not my kind of thing. I didn't really care for it. I didn't think any of the performances are good. If you're making a movie that takes place in 1966, don't have centerfolds that this guy's looking at in his room that are like from 80s or 90s or whatever. Do a little bit of research on that. But it was only like an hour and 10 minutes long, so it had that going for it. But can't recommend this one. Can't recommend Born to Raise Hell at all. Sorry.
And I did try and watch these. It's not like I just passed them off to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But my fucking I got that old country internet out here, and fucking this the second movie, it was like 30 some gigabytes, which is ridiculous for a file for a screener to send somebody. Usually it's like one, maybe one something. Like every 5 seconds it would play, and then the wheel would spin and spin and spin for it to load. Tried to download the shit. Oh yeah, this will be ready in 33 hours. Oh fuck me. So I tried. I had a little better luck with the second movie, but I was maybe able to watch 3 minutes of the next one combined with just like skipping through, trying to get the story or whatever. And I'm not sure that I did. But hey, if you thought Sin City, they just put too much money in that. I want something with a little less money. That's what I'm looking for. This next movie is for you. Joe, tell them all about, what was it, Protege Maui? Maio.
Protege moi.
Ah,
I'm the protege. This movie, as Tom said, has a little less money and than Robert Rodriguez had on Sin City, but they had enough to make a stark black and white digital prologue, I guess. It's telling you, like, hey, the vampires rule the earth now, blah blah blah. But it's in a real lousy black and white, like really bad. It's just like a solid black. Your character is white, and then you got these stark background. It's taken me out of it already. This whole prologue, and it goes on for a long time. And I'm thinking, holy shit, is the whole movie going to be like this? But no, I think after about 18 minutes, reverts, and then it's like, oh, okay, we're doing a movie style, kind of. Again, a nod to Robert Rodriguez. This is all green screen stuff. You got characters, and then there's like the forest behind them or whatever, a castle behind them. and we're introduced to our characters. This old cowboy that's hunting vampires, and we're introduced to a vampire king who's played by one of the Ramones. I don't know much about the Ramones. I don't know which one he is. I think they're all interchangeable to me. I don't fucking know.
I do know a little bit about the Ramones.
Okay.
And the little bit that I do know, all they wanted was to be sedated, Joe.
Well,
That was their goal in life, was to be sedated.
this guy playing the vampire king, he looks plenty sedated. Uh, it's also a story about a girl that he has there as his thrall. You know, he's got some vampire bitches that hang around him on his throne, you know, and they're all just fucking either scantily clad or topless. At the This one girl, it's like she's kind of refusing. She doesn't want to be a vampire thrall, but he has her mom held captive, and so she's got to do whatever he says. But why don't he just fucking bite her, turn her into a vampire, and then boom, she's your thrall? I think she is a vampire, but that rule doesn't apply in this movie.
So, for uneducated moes like myself, Joe,
Mm-hmm.
what does this word thrall mean?
Thrall, it's just like his fucking slave. It's, yeah, his slave,
Okay.
willing slave.
Yeah, there was a part of this that I did see where the toxic, or I don't know if it's supposed to be the Toxic Avenger or some guy in a Toxic Avenger mask gets
Mm-hmm.
his head blown off.
Yeah.
I don't have his fucking like off. I know he's supposed to be like a retarded fella. But when I was watching it, I was just pretending like he was talking normal and it was just coming out muffled because he was wearing a mask. So I thought that shit was pretty funny. I think for the money, or from what I've seen, the money they had, it was creative, inventive, like, hey, good for you for doing that, doing this. I don't want to say different thing because it's very Sin City-esque. But you don't see this often. So I was just like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool and different to what I could see of the 3 minutes of it.
Well, it's like I put on my written review. It has a lot of nudity, and it comes off like some of the erotic vampire shit that came out in the '90s. And I think if it had come out at that time, he probably would have had a big fucking following. You know, a lot of people would have gravitated toward this. It is what it is for being like shot on video, green screen, whatever. It's okay, especially watching it back to back with Born to Raise Hell. This is a much better movie, and it actually starts to work its storyline really well. It's not just the fucking murder like the other movie was, murder and rape, murder and rape. This one, even though it interjects a lot of scenes with women just dancing around naked, but hey, I'm cool with that. That's
See
a
the
plus.
surgically enhanced Asian broad. She
Yeah,
was in that for a while.
yeah. Matsuimi Max, she fucking
Bless you.
dances around with the, I don't know, some
With her
fireball
pussy hanging out.
flip
I did see that.
spinning the fireballs around on her tits or something. So very talented lady, learned the secrets of ancient Japan or wherever she's from and brought them to the independent film industry.
So, how do you know her name? Did you look it up in the credits, or is she from something that you've seen before?
I don't think I've seen her in anything before, but random people will post pictures of her on my feed. Probably Jerry will post a picture of her. She's to the max or something, like says something like that with that or something.
One of these days, I'll post something non-perverted, and then I'll be like, "Wait, you posted that?" I seen him. He was had some pictures with old grandma at the gas station the other day, and usually he does that creep thing where he puts his hand around the broad's waist. Didn't see any hands around grandma's waist.
Yeah, I'm sure if I looked, I'm probably sure she did some modeling with Ken Marcus or one of those fucking erotic photographers or something. But so
How
yeah,
do you know the names of erotic photographers?
I do erotic art.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're in the scene?
I'm in the scene, Tom. No, I wish I was. I wish I was. Then I would probably make some fucking money. You know, probably more money than I would in the horror shit.
We'll hit
But
up my buddy Rudy at My Pet Monster Girl. He'll hook you up with all the adult content tips you need.
is he a pet monster girl?
I mean, you know, he is a performer in his own things. I don't know if he'd like to be called a monster girl,
I
but
don't think the furry
he fucks them.
thing is what I'm headed towards, Tom. And
Well, he
I'm
makes rubber cocks too, so
okay.
if
Um,
anybody out there needs rubber cocks, hit up RCC Creation to get yourself a nice rubber cock that looks like one of the xenomorphs.
so anyway, the story, it has a conclusion. It ends, and I thought, that wasn't bad. That's a pretty good ending. Unfortunately, that's not the fucking ending. Because they go on to another scene that doesn't need to be in a movie. That's just like a comical scene in a bar, and your favorite, Felissa Rose, is in it. Again, why was her name enough to draw people to buy it or to throw money at your Kickstarter or whatever? Maybe that was it. Her and David Sheridan are in this scene, and it's just pointless. You'd already finished the story, and I thought it was a good ending, and then you fucking ruin it with this last part. If you should do a version without that last part. Sorry, Felissa Rose and David Sheridan, but
Or put it at the beginning with a little
yeah,
thing. Let me tell you how we got here.
definitely put it at the beginning. That would work. Yeah, but no, definitely a much better movie. And if you're into the low budget stuff, this is a good one to watch.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, all 3 minutes that I was able to watch,
Mhm.
like, if you had some buddies, some beer, and some legal marijuana and watch this, you'd probably have an alright time.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the fucking low budget shot in a weekend fucking bullshit.
Oh
You
yeah.
could
No,
tell there was
no,
time and effort
they
put
put some
into it.
effort into this for sure. And what they were trying to tell a story. To me, that's the most important thing. He had a whole plot going through there.
So, check out Crude Comics and Cinema. I would assume it's crudecomicsandcinema.com. Just Google it. If you don't, he's also a prize fighter, so he'll probably kick your fucking dick in. And I would assume he will kick Joe's dick in at the St. Louis or St. Joseph Chili Fest in a couple weeks or
It's
whatever the
actually
fuck.
in Kansas City proper this time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable they're having the same place 2 years in a row. But hey.
I don't have shit. I fucking talked about everything I had, dog.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So I guess we're gonna. I don't know.
Hey Joe, do you like robots? You remember that split second when white broads, mostly beach bums, would fucking braid their hair
Mm-hmm.
in a bunch of little braids like they were Rastas and shit?
Yep.
Are you a fan of that look?
No, still to this day, I'm not a fan. I was at the Holistic Fair yesterday, Tom, so I saw some of that shit. Okay. Still a thing, and it still doesn't look good to me. But anyway, we're talking Nemesis 2 Nebula. The year is 2077, and the cyborgs have taken over the Earth. Humanity, they're just slaves now. But that's okay, because some human rebels have mutated some human DNA, and they're going to send mother and child back in time in a time machine that they have. I don't know where they got the time machine or what they did exactly to the DNA. But anyway, they sent her back in time. Mom is just gonna leave the baby there in the fucking desert,
Well, they end up going to Africa. Like
Yeah,
wind up in
Ship
Africa
lands
like
in
fucking
Africa,
1980 something or some shit.
something like
And you
that.
know, it starts out you're thinking like, all right, what kind of powers and shit did they do? What kind of DNA alteration did they do to this child to make it be the savior of humanity? Got some muscles, do flips and shit, kinda.
Yeah,
That's about
that's
it.
it. So yeah, so the mom's killed off by some rebels. Local tribesmen show up, kill the rebels, and take the baby to raise it as their own. We fast forward, I don't know,
So when
20.
you say tribesmen, you got to make sure we spell it out. This fucking lily white cracker is fucking jungle booked by a bunch of black bushmen. So this is pretty much like a weird version of the Jungle Book. This is like the Jungle Book meets Predator, but nowhere near as good as either two of those movies.
Right. Jungle Book being the better of those two, also. But anyway,
Son of a bitch.
uh, she grows up, and as Tom said, she grew up because of this enhanced DNA. She's a fucking bodybuilder, and yeah, she does not look good. Female bodybuilders, that's some weird shit to me. It is not attractive at all. The whole movie, I'm thinking this is a dude. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It being Pride Month and all. But yeah, she wants to be a warrior, and they're like, hey, you can't be a warrior girl, so she has to pass the test. She does. She humiliates one of the other warriors. He vows to kill her, but fucking Nebula shows up.
Which is a fucking girl's name, and this is supposed to be like a male fucking bounty hunter. Weird. They should have called him Nebulo.
Well, if you noticed in this movie, because our hero, her name is Alex, and that's a guy's name. But in the first Nemesis movie, all the girls had
Yeah,
male
that's right.
names, you know? So it's a weird, there's some kind of subtext going on that I don't really give a fuck about. But anyway,
More
we
like
get
Albert P.
Nebula,
Yoon.
because Nebula has some kind of fucking visual distortion on him. He's got a cloaking device kind of thing. And so you can't really get a good eye on him. But I would figure you could just aim at where you can't see right and shoot right there. But anyway, he hunts him
Your
down.
bullets have no effect on me.
Yeah. And he wants to take her back to the future, I guess, so they can move the pyramid.
Like that
But,
movie.
yeah. Save Doc Brown, whatever. And yeah, that's just her running away from Nebula. She was given a necklace too that says, "Hey, when the time is right, this necklace will show you all the answers." I guess the time wasn't right in this movie because they don't show us any fucking answers. She meets some other white girls in the desert, and as women do to each other, they double cross her and can't be trusted. And that's it. Just a lot of shooting, a lot of explosions. The stunt work in this one is nowhere near as good as the first one. This girl, bodybuilder, whatever, she is not a great action star. She's not can't deliver her lines with any fucking kind of legitimacy or confidence or anything. She's just not very good.
And surprisingly, she was never on American Gladiators. That
Mm.
was the first thing I looked up when I started watching this movie.
I didn't look
I
her
was
up. I'm figuring she didn't do much of anything aside from these, right?
no, the Nemesis movies were her big credit, and she's in all the other ones, Joe. So we follow her story for luckily they didn't make a part 5 and we only have to watch her for 2 more movies. So
Yeah, it ends with her defeating Nebula, and we're left on a little bit of a cliffhanger because she's gonna go back to the future, or what? How the fuck did this end?
dude, this the second to the last shot of the movie is fucking her in a Jeep driving away And
Yeah.
it's one of those shots where they lock it down
They didn't
and
make
you just see the
right.
fucking Jeep drive all the way down the road until it's real small. And then they do one more shot after that where it's the Jeep again driving all the way down the road real small. Maybe you didn't need 2 in a row, you fucking idiot. Just do the one and add your stupid CGI effect and
I thought they showed like a nebula or something at the end.
Yeah, no, I mean, they did, but
Yeah.
you coulda added that little, CGI flare at the end of the first shot. You didn't need to, "Alright, let's throw take 2 in there."
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanna watch a fucking buff broad run around the desert, here's the movie for you. That's about all this shit fucking is. Just this fucking unfuckable woman running around the desert. I'm sorry. It just sounded funny, so I said it. I'm sure some ugly fuck stuck
Gotta
a
ring a truth
cock
to
in
it.
it. It's just jokes, lady. Please
Yeah,
don't
like,
beat my ass. I know you could.
I'm not hungry. Thanks.
Nah, I don't think I want to tit fuck you. Thanks, though. I guess I would assume it would be like fucking rocks. And by that, I mean 2 Dwayne Johnsons. You had the bald version, and then the one with his goofy ass hair and his fucking tassel necklace that hung down to his fucking knees. Mm. Can't believe this movie sucked, Joe.
It wasn't awful.
All right. It was a goddamn waste of time and a fucking waste of making a movie.
Yeah, I thought it
Can't
was okay.
next week. Yeah, you would.
Better than
Hey,
Panther
Joe.
Squad, I'll tell you that much.
What?
It's lots better than Panther Squad.
Well, hey, Joe. You ready for a very quick issue of Amazing Spider-Man?
The dramatic conclusion. Because last time, what we were left with them up in the sky cab, or what do you call those things that they're in?
Oh, I can't remember. Something at the fair, I think.
Yeah, just some little like fucking cart that takes you on a wire up and whatever. I
A
don't know.
gondola. No, that's a fucking boat.
Yeah, they're still struggling with each other, old Punisher and Spider-Man and Nightcrawler, because there's a sniper out there, and they think it's the Punisher now. The Punisher thinks it's one of them. They're in there duking it out, and then somebody starts shooting at the sky cab or whatever that box that rolls up those wires is. As okay, so maybe it's not one of us. Let's team up and join up here in a couple of nights. Yeah, because I got things to do. I want to go see that whore Mary Jane, and sure enough, yeah, she's already fucking Flash Thompson, just
My man.
lying around with him on the college campus. And while we have that scene at the college campus, we go over to J. Jonah Jerklin, who's hitting up on some professor there and says, "Hey, baby, you want to fucking get rid of Spider-Mans with me?" She
Mm.
says, "Yes. Yes, I do." But that's just like set up for the next issue. Punisher, cruises over, picks up Spider-Man in his van, and they go around town like looking for whoever this mysterious assailant is. Well, doesn't take us long for him to reveal himself, Tom. It is the arch nemesis, the rival, if you must, to the Punisher. Name of Jigsaw.
Which is an extremely racist name, which I would say Radio Edit saw.
I would say it's very insensitive. You know, I don't know what race the guy is, but he's talking like use mugs, so I figure he's Italian. Um, yeah, apparently he's some nobody that the Punisher like mashed up his gang and threw the guy through a plate glass window. So now he's all scarred up and he wants revenge on the Punisher. Has himself an exosuit and a fucked up face, and he's out to, hey, I'm just gonna start killing people, random people, unless you show up, Punisher. We've already captured your bitch Spider-Man here because he was easy to knock out. Somebody just walks up behind him and hits him with a fucking gun. That spider sense ain't worth the shit.
So it's pretty much three heroes ganging up on a handicap man.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, let's beat the shit out of Bob from
Yeah.
Freeway.
And he's about to take off and run away, and I'll fucking kill him another day. I will. But no, they capture him. That's it. That's the end of this issue.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, these early Punisher appearances in the Spider-Man books, aside from the first one, I'm reading all these for the first time, and I'm wondering. Well, I'm not wondering. It's like, oh, that's why it took so long for people to fucking like this character, because this shit sucks.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's because of that goddamn comics code.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pricks.
They are pricks.
Number 1, Gaines versus Wortham. Hey, Joe, you like lists?
I've been known to enjoy a list or two, Tom. And this time, you wanted to count down our top 5 rivalries of all time. And I'm going to start with fans of Whataburger versus fans of In-N-Out. Guys are going to argue about this shit every chance they get. And although I prefer Whataburger, it's fucking fast food, you know? Fuck both of them when it comes down to it. Make a burger at home. You'll be happier.
I agree. They both suck. Go to Portillo's.
Fuck that place.
Never even been, Joe.
Yeah, but their bread. I heard
Never even
their
been.
bread.
Buns, as I call them.
Mm-hmm. The breads.
Number 5, Joe. The classic, all encapsulating, good versus evil. Who doesn't like a good versus evil story, Joe? The light versus the dark, heaven versus hell. Good stuff, hot stuff. Jesus versus the devil. Very erotic. Number 5.
At number 4, kind of the same concept as the other one, but this one is Star Wars fans versus Star Trek fans. This is an ongoing rivalry, and it's always funny because Star Wars fans are fucking dumb. They got no argument whatsoever. Dumb fucks.
They just got to realize they're both part of the LGBTQ plus community and learn to get along together, because in the end, they're the same dork-ass motherfuckers.
Star Wars is only accepting of the LGBTQ community during the month of June, Tom.
Well, that's the only month you're supposed to. Number 4, I have Dr. Venture versus the Monarch. Story as old as time, Joe. And we're going to see the end of that story July 25th when the Venture Brothers movie is released.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. They could throw all the Blu-rays in a volcano and tell you to go fuck yourself.
They might. At number 3, also from the world of animation, I have Popeye and Bluto. And, you know, I think these guys would get along famously. I think they'd be really good buddies if it wasn't for that fucking whore Olive Oil. So he's teasing the fuck out of both of them. Sad day.
All right, Joe. Let's hear it.
That's all I can.
It's good enough.
I yams, Tom.
And that's all that you hams. Speaking of hams, you know what I seen at the store yesterday for the first time ever? Ham's beer. I thought that was just some made up fucking shit.
I thought they quit making that in the 60s or something.
No, you could still buy it.
Hmm.
$3.66 for a 6-pack of tall boys.
Oh, it's East Texas.
Joe, my number 3, I have the greatest wrestling rivalry of all time, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. If you can name me a better rivalry than that, I will call you a fucking lying cocksucker, Joe.
Oh, is that right?
That's right.
Tom, at number 2, I have the greatest wrestling rivalry of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mr. McMahon.
It's a good one.
Shit. Good shit. Yeah, they were better rivals than anybody that was in the ring fucking duking it out. And the shit was funny. Well scripted shit at that time. It was fun. It was just fun too, you know? And it was great. Like, hey, here's the fucking owner of the company, and he's out here being a heel, you know, and he's like supposed to be corporate America and shit too. And Stone Cold's supposed to be the working man or whatever. It was fucking great stuff, man.
All right, let's hear it.
No.
Okay.
I can't do it on time.
Either one? You can't do either one?
Should have just set up a table like to negotiate the fucking contracts and shit.
Just flip it.
Yeah.
If you see a fucking table at a contract signing, you know that shit's getting molested first.
Yep.
Number 2, Joe. Spider-Man has had a lot of great rivalries in his day. Some would say Green Goblin versus Spider-Man is the best. Some would say Spider-Man versus Doc Ock is the best. Not me, Joe. I'm a Spider-Man versus Venom fellow, you see. But don't worry, we'll get to that in a few years. Fuck.
At number 1, I have from the world of comic books, Mr. Fantastic versus Dr. Doom. Ongoing rivalry in this book. Dr. Doom is probably my favorite villain because he considers Reed Richards a fucking fool. And you know what? Richards wouldn't win all the time if he didn't have those other 3 fucking bums backing him up. It's a good rivalry. I like it. I like the 2 characters. Some good shit.
And he wears a dress.
Probably should have gone with Fantastic Four instead of Spider-Man's, but
but you didn't hate yourself that much because that's a bunch of fucking pseudoscience, boring bullshit. Joe, my number 1, again, good versus evil, the darkness and the light, Earth Realm versus Outworld, the story of Mortal Kombat. I gotta go and buy a PlayStation 5 now so I can play that fucking game. So be on the lookout for me selling all the shit I don't want so I don't have to pay actual money for that shit. Thank you. Joe,
join
I
us
know you got one.
next week when we're talking our favorite top 5 fictional buddies. Enough with the, you know, hating each other and stuff. Let's have some positivity. We're talking about people that get along.
Are Bert and Ernie actually gay, or is that just something the gay mafia came up with? Find out next week as we do a deep dive into the world of Sesame Street. But before that, head on over to dwnproductions.net for all your mask bust props and custom work needs. Been sick, still a little sick, so I'm behind, and I have a little behind. But that doesn't mean that you can't go to dwnproductions.net and place an order and wait just a little bit longer, because after all, god damn it, I deserve it. Joe, where can they buy t-shirts at? Quality made in America t-shirts.
I would prefer that you buy your shirts at fastcustomshirts.com. Go over there and peruse the 1,000 and something, I don't know how many shirts. There's a lot of shit there. And as Tom said in yesterday's bonus BOYGOB episode, that I did raise my prices at the conventions, and I'm doing it on the website too, but it just takes fucking forever. So I'd order now that shit while you can, because they are going to go up. I will find some days where I can just sit there and just change that fucking price. But today is not that day. So go on over there. If you need custom work, we're loaded up with custom work, but fuck it, we'll take more. We'll get it done. We'll get it to you. Shit. Fucking yeah. FastCustomShirts.com.
And not only are you loaded up with work, but you're also loaded up with cum. And I would also assume that when you go and update the prices, that some of those shirts will in fact be taken off the website because they don't sell and you don't have the screens. So if there's something you had your eye on, probably get to that shit before it's fucking gone. Or maybe I'm just speaking out of turn.
Yeah, I can't say, oh, I'll get it next time because Joe is going to live forever. Fuck no. All this stuff's limited edition because once I die, this shit's all fucking burned. Nobody else wants it. Believe me, nobody wants to do this shit to themselves.
Everybody, have a great week. Or don't, but try to. Fuck it. I got sappy on the last one and wished everybody the best and thanked them. So how about you go fuck yourself? BOYGOB.